Recently, I asked you if you wanted me to do a Q&A section, and honestly, you sent me some really good questions. So here we are. If you want this section to continue, leave your questions in the comments. When more questions arise, I'll make another video. What are the general and specific objectives of the channel, Anita? I'm Vympel. This isn't my first channel. I've had several before, but this one came from observation. Lately, there are a ton of influencers doing podcasts, bringing in soldiers, Marines, police officers, even criminals, and repeating the same stories over and over again. And many times, the stories people left in the comments on all those videos were even crazier than the ones in the actual podcast. Powerful stories worth attention. No one gave them a voice, no creator told them, and often it feels bad when no one listens to you. One day I decided to do it. I started taking those stories from the comments and narrating them in videos. Then I posted my email, and that's when the flood of stories began. I received emails from soldiers, Marines, police officers, and over time, stories from hitmen, drivers, delivery people, and regular people. I don't doubt what people send me, but often they would send photos, evidence, even news articles to back up what they were telling me. And sometimes, they weren't always their own stories. They were stories about their fathers, their brothers, their uncles, their neighbors. And also, they didn't always send them to me by Gmail. Sometimes they sent them to me through Facebook or Instagram. To make it more powerful, I started to accompany the stories with real images of soldiers and police officers. And something really crazy happened. More than once, someone would comment saying they appeared in the video, that they were the one at such and such minute and second. Of the stories people send me, not always, but sometimes I modify or alter them for safety reasons. I sometimes create stories inspired by news or songs for variety, since many who submit stories provide details. So precise it scares me, so I change some details to protect everyone and keep my head where it is. Because at the beginning of the channel, people would ask me to take down the video or to change some details instead. But aside from that, people started to connect. In no time, I was uploading 4 or 5 videos a day. By the next time I checked, we were at 100,000. And then soon after, 150,000. At times I was speechless, and now we're at 300,000. Even a military influencer with over 1 million subscribers started doing exactly that. And honestly, I have no problem with it. The sun shines for everyone. If he's doing it, it's because we're on the right track. What's the harshest story you've had to read, honestly? There are several stories that have been really tough. Stories that, to this day, I don't know if I should publish, but I'll give you a little spoiler of one that stuck with me. It was in Tamaulipas. The story was sent by a guy who's from over there. This person says he had a brother. Both of them were construction workers, and he says they were earning well. They had a stable job. They lived with their mom, who was sick, and little by little, the person who hired them stopped talking to them. They lost their jobs and faced urgent needs. Through a mutual friend, they decided to join the Gulf Cartel. They weren't hitmen or bosses. Their job was simply to be lookouts. They reported when the Marines, Army, or federal police passed by, but not when municipal or state police did. They already had a deal and knew what was happening. The one who runs the story is the younger brother. He says that one day, by mistake, by some damn bad luck, 4 fast Marines and an armored vehicle got away from him after a big boss from the real good guys. They caught them, and in response, they called them in to find out who the hell had messed up. And there the older brother took the blame. In front of everyone, including his younger brother, the story's narrator, they began beating him with a machete from the ground up. He says that sometimes he still wakes up screaming at night. That moment haunts him. Because before everything happened, his older brother shouted at him, don't look, bro." But they forced him to look. They forced him to see what they were doing to him, so he would understand what would happen to him if he let something slip too. And the worst part of all was when he said that after that he had to go back home and tell his mom what they did to his brother. Imagine that. Telling that to a sick mother. Are you planning to post more stories, but about something funnier? Something like the one about the guy in Oaxaca? Yes, actually, yes, I would love to post more stories like that. And it's not the first time I've done it. I've posted similar stories before with that funny touch, like the one about Oaxaca. Honestly, stories like that happen more often than people realize. Within the armed forces, for example, there's the story of Cabo, or the one about the 3 soldiers who were dating the same girl. Those were really good too. These kinds of stories help to lighten things up a bit among so many heavy stories. They add variety to the channel and also show that more human, everyday side that people experience in there too. If you get a long but good email, how would you summarize it without losing context? Yes, I've already been sent some really long stories, and when that happens, honestly, I don't always like to summarize them because a lot of times the impact or important details get lost. What I do in those cases is turn them into a long video, just as they were sent to me. In those cases, I wait until I have 3 long stories and combine them in one video. It's something I do quite often because there are people who, besides watching shorts, really enjoy long videos. So instead of cutting the story, I prefer to keep it complete and tell it properly so that none of the context or essence is lost. Which story have you enjoyed reading the most? Honestly, I really enjoy reading all the stories people send me. Each one has something special, something that makes you think. If I had to pick one I really liked, it would be Kevin's story. Kevin. He was a boy who dreamed of being a paratrooper, but unfortunately, he had a tumor in his head. His story reached the ears of the Secretary of National Defense of The story of him brought that story. Where? Is Rasul cunning at work? Honestly, if I knew that someone from the National Guard was working with the cartel, I would honestly pretend I didn't see anything. Because the reality is that even if you wanted to report it, there are no guarantees of anything. If I reported it to a higher up, who can assure me that this superior isn't also involved with them? On the contrary, I could even end up putting myself in the spotlight. In those cases, honestly, it's better to step aside, not out of cowardice, but to survive. Here, unfortunately, the good side isn't always as good as it appears.